Sometimes in WWE, we get phenomenal matches. Other times, we get duds and matches that get swept under the rug and out of existence as some of the worst matches to ever occur in WWE history. Today, we will be getting into all of that and more. Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing my top 10 worst matches in WWE history. What do you think the worst match in WWE history is? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video all over social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. With that being said, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, and without further ado, let's get to number 10, Undertaker versus Big Boss Man, WrestleMania 15. These two got in the ring. On paper, it looked like it would have been a good match, but the chemistry just was not there between these two. And the ending was some of the most darkest things we've seen in WWE, with The Undertaker hanging Big Boss Man in the middle of the ring. It was definitely gnarly to see, left the audience in complete shock and terror. But the match itself just wasn't really there. There was a lot of botches in the match by both The Undertaker and the Big Boss Man. Their climax to the end, their finish, just did not go over well with the WWE Universe, especially it being a WrestleMania match with The Undertaker in it. We'll get to a different one of those later on in the video. But The Undertaker and the Big Boss Man at WrestleMania just wasn't good. And honestly, it was probably one of the worst matches in WWE history. Number 9, Kane versus the Great Khali, WrestleMania 23. This match on paper looked to be a great giant versus giant match, but when we got to the wrestling in the ring, it was just horrid, to be honest. The Great Khali was very sloppy in almost everything he attempted to do, and Kane really struggled to carry this match. And honestly, it was only a 9-minute match on a WrestleMania card, and I can't even say that it would have been better if they got more time, because it probably wouldn't have. This is a match that wouldn't even have gone over on a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown, let alone a pay-per-view at WrestleMania of all places. Kane and the Great Khali was just a complete dud when it came down to the match itself. All this match was smoke and mirrors. It was hype. Number 8, Undertaker versus Goldberg, Super Showdown. This match in particular was bad right out of the box, with The Undertaker getting concussed about 45 seconds into the match. It was clear as soon as we got a few minutes into this match and we saw what these men had, that both of these men were past their prime. I will admit, if we had The Undertaker versus Goldberg in 2002, 2003, 2004, that match might have had the potential to be one of the best matches in WWE history. But because this happened so late in both of these men's career, neither one of them could really perform to the expectations that this match had, considering it was being coined as a first time ever type match. And honestly, shout out to both of the men that participated for giving it a shot. But it's a type of match that both The Undertaker and Goldberg would prefer not to talk about these days. And honestly, it was probably one of the worst Super Showdown matches in their history. Number 7, Eric Bischoff versus Teddy Long, Survivor Series 2005. This match featured the Raw general manager at the the time, Eric Bischoff versus the SmackDown General Manager, Teddy Long. And this was just a mess. There is a reason why general managers who have never wrestled shouldn't wrestle in the WWE. Not to mention, it was laced with all type of shenanigans, with the Boogeyman interfering at one point in this match. The expectations weren't really high for this match anyways. It was more of a comedic gimmick and a storyline than anything else. But still, at the end of the day, everything that these two tried to do was extremely sloppy, and it was just horrible to watch. It was almost like you wanted to put your hands over your eyes but leave your hands cracked because you can't not see. This was that type of moment in WWE, and honestly, let's hope Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long never try to get in a wrestling ring again. Number 6. Patterson versus Gerald Brisco hardcore evening gown match? So wait, let me get this straight. This is a hardcore match with both men dressed in evening gowns. That should be enough said right there. But let's dive into this a little bit. These two men were both way past their prime and in their 60s when they were in this match. So it was almost like watching two senior citizens go at it in evening gowns. It was bad all around, especially it being a hardcore match. This was something during the Attitude Era, more of a comedic gimmick than anything else. It made Vince McMahon happy, so they did it. But this was just really bad. It's something a lot of people that don't really watch wrestling too much know about, especially with it being back in the Attitude Era. But trust me, this is not a type of match that you want to go back and watch years later, but hey, maybe you do. Number 5. The Brothers of Destruction versus DX Super Showdown. This was a very bad match. It's the most recent match out of any of the matches on this list. But this was just another example of every man in this match being out of their prime when it happened. The Undertaker and Kane had been in the business for more than 25 years, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels had been there about the same amount of time. If this match happened in 2007, it probably would have been a lot better. But because this match happened so late as it did, there was a lot of sloppy moments in this match. A lot of things that should have gone better in this match between these four men. And it's the type of match that all four of these men really don't like to talk about nowadays. But still, it was just a horrible match from everybody around. And honestly, it was probably one of the worst matches in the last 5 to 7 years in WWE. Number 4, Rosio O'Donnell versus Donald Trump. What can I say about this? This was 2007 Monday Night Raw. Both Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump were impersonated by people in costumes, and they went out and had one of the most bizarre segments / matches that you're ever really going to see in professional wrestling, especially around that time. This wasn't really a match more as it was two people rolling around on the mat trying to punch each other. This was just outright silly. I hope the people who enjoyed this because most people would have just turned the channel. It's not one of WWE's proudest moments, let's say that. But Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump was only there because Donald Trump was having a rivalry with Vince McMahon that was leading into WrestleMania 23. But other than that, this was a complete waste of time for WWE and the fans, and Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump was just blech. Number 3, Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez, WrestleMania 9. This was just really bad all around. The Undertaker was still new in WWE, only had been on the scene for about 3 or 4 years, and Giant Gonzalez was just a really bad 8-foot professional wrestler, and I don't mean bad as in the type of good, I mean bad as in bad. This guy could not wrestle at all. I was really surprised that he even got a match with The Undertaker, but still, the ending to this match was also very horrible. I believe there was ether involved at one point where The Undertaker was carted to the back, ended up rising from the ashes and coming back to the ring and taking and laying out Giant Gonzalez. It was more of a match that went bad that led into a segment, and it really wasn't that great at all. It was probably one of the worst Undertaker WrestleMania performances of all time. Number 2, Brock Lesnar versus Zack Gowan, 2002. What was WWE even thinking with this one? I mean, the only person that this probably amused was Vince McMahon, but this did nothing to help anybody. WWE was trying to put over Brock Lesnar as an unstoppable monster, next big thing in 2002. So what do? You go and put him against somebody who's 5'2", 110 pounds, and with one leg. Like, the match was bad enough, but even the small rivalry that they had afterwards, which included Brock Lesnar pushing Zack Gowan down a flight of stairs, this was cringe to the max. And honestly, it's very difficult to even go back and watch. It didn't make Brock Lesnar look like an unstoppable monster. It made him look like a bully, and it was really bad. We felt bad for Zack Gowan at points during this small feud. And in my opinion, this match is the second worst match in WWE history. Only 2. Number 1. Big Boss Man versus Al Snow. Kennel from Hell match. What was this? This was the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen in WWE personally. These two were in a Kennel from Hell match, which means the cage surrounded the ring and the dogs were inside the cage, surrounding the ring, almost as lumberjacks. But the dogs didn't know what they were doing, so they were peeing and pooping all over the area. It was just a really disgusting scene after it was all said and done, and honestly, it was something that WWE probably should have thought about doing before they did it, because this was horrible, and it did nothing for the Big Boss Man or Al Snow and their rivalry on top of all of that, which was pretty suspect at the best with some of the segments that they had leading up to this, but the Kennel from Hell match is something that I pray to God WWE never ever tries to do again, because this was the worst match in WWE history. And that was my top 10 worst matches in WWE history. What do you think the worst match in WWE history is? Let me know down in the comments below and we'll have a conversation about it. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm Nicky D, this is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all of y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.